Welcome in to Three the Hardaway, aka the three-man Jalen Weave, aka the best big three since LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh, live on YouTube. Be sure to leave a like on the channel, subscribe. We on the way to that 200. We at 109 right now, so let's keep it pushing. And we're also available on any podcast platform: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, anybody podcast. Leave us a 5-star rating review over there, and we will greatly appreciate it. If you don't know who I am the walking bucket providing instant offense. It's your boy Savage. Up here, we got my guy, the coach on the sidelines. Take them to school on and off the court. And when I say it's really shitty, it's really shitty. Shitty, what's good? 2-0 up on Boston. How we feeling?
Job's not done, but we're feeling very, very, the word here is glorious. And I love that we're still the underdog and everywhere. All sports betting, even people taking us like, oh, yeah, the Celtics are going to win game 3 by like 8 points. I like that. We 6 away from another championship.
I can't wait to hear your NBA Finals take.
We also get your favorite DJ, the sample man himself, Mr. Ted Shakir. Too, what's good?
What's good, brothers? What's good, man? Just living life. Just happy to be alive. Wondering, how many Bears are there? Just different.
How many Bears?
Yeah, because apparently everybody keep poking a bear, and I just want to know. I like that I'm actually brought that up because I'm asking us, how many Bears are there?
Like actual species or like bears in the NBA?
No, like in players.
Apparently LeBron is one. LeBron is a bear. Is that trivia question for today?
No, it's not.
No, I couldn't be.
On my head. It's like because you can't say you poked the Jason Tatum bear, can you?
He ain't no damn bear. He too light.
Exactly.
That's a cuddle bear, maybe.
I mean, is DeAndre Ayton a care bear? I mean, that's what Sharky Wife said.
Nah, I don't care bear.
The man said I don't care bear. Wow.
That's what he is. I don't care bear.
Wow. Hey, we gotta say that to the archive.
There you go. Bro. Hey, we looking at you. I say it in your face, buddy.
Yeah. On his way to Oz, bro.
No. All right, man. So we are gonna go over the conference finals. A lot of interesting things are happening right now. But before we hop into that, Toop said he got a trivia question. So
I do have a trivia.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Actual real question. So of course, not sure if y'all paid attention, but the Denver Nuggets are damn near on their way to their first ever NBA Finals. Just want to know if y'all know the other 5 teams that have never gone to an NBA Finals.
Grizzlies,
of course.
Grizzlies, Hornets, yep.
That's 3.
Pelicans.
4.
Dang.
We in unison, man.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, y'all got it. Hey, when you're a vibe, man.
Hold on.
That's big 3 since the Brown, Bosh, shout out to
them. Brooklyn been.
I'm gonna go West.
Pacers been.
Yep.
Sacramento.
Again, we got Sacramento has been to a final. So way
back 70s.
They were
wow.
So you got the Nuggets,
Clippers,
y'all got the Grizz, y'all got the Hornets, y'all got the Pelicans, and it is the Clippers.
Okay,
yep.
Clippers.
And there's one more.
There's one more? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 5.
Timberwolves. It's kind of a
Timberwolves.
There you go. Same time too. Good job, y'all. Good job.
Nice.
We need that that NBA NSYNC thing. We got to do that too.
Man.
That was not planned. They got that.
Wow.
There was one NSYNC moment. I forget what game that was. Was that Heat game? Yeah.
No, I recorded it. I put it out there. We living in the matrix for real, y'all. They both did the exact same thing. Walked the exact same. I'm like, hold on. Am I playing 2K right now? Did I just playing with it?
It should be weird as hell to me, man. I'm like, that's creepy. Like, it was one back in the day of like Boogie Cousins and AD.
Yeah.
I was getting back on. I was like, bro, this so creepy. And it was another
because
one.
they really took off at the same time, though. Like,
they
put the head down and then both tried it. Yeah, that was wild.
There was another one. It was like 5. It was like 5 players did it all at once. I'm gonna look it up now. Now I gotta look it up because it's been a while since I watched that one. But we mentioned the Miami Heat, and I wanted to start off with the Miami Heat first because I mean here's the thing. So on this podcast, I think most of us said that the Heat would win game 1 if they were going to win a game in Boston, which they did. I was this close to putting down $10 that Boston was going to win game 2. Thank God I didn't, because the bear was poked apparently. Grant Williams up 9 points on Jimmy Butler, got in Jimmy Butler's face, and Jimmy Butler proceeded to do what Jimmy Butler has done for the entire postseason, and that was show up and show out. So Miami is up 2-0 on Boston. Going into Miami, Sheedy has long said for the entire playoffs that you not winning the game in 305. So my question, Sheedy, are you banking on a sweep? Is that what's going to happen?
I would love it. Yes, but it's definitely going to be a gentleman's sweep. I believe it'll be a gentleman's sweep because I would hope that the Celtics have enough balls to win at least one game. But by 5, I think we're done. I mean, I said Heat in 6 before the series, once the series started. I didn't care who we played. And to win game 2 the way we did, first of all, shout out to Unsung Caleb Martin. Hell of a series. Whether that's, putting up points and shots when it needs to, defending where, 94 feet, what have you. Duncan Robinson put up, I think, 15 points on his birthday. All right. Top 10 Kyle Lowry doing exactly what he needs to do time and time again. Kevin Love. And the resurgence of Cody Zeller. A top 10 pick, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't work nowhere else, Charlotte. But he works in Miami. I mean,
that's crazy.
I'm not going to keep going and going down that road of how great a coach Spoelstra is. But what I will say is, let's stop talking about undrafted players. Let's stop talking about what happened in the bubble, and let's live in the now. And the now is we are up 2-0 against the Boston Celtics, and Jimmy and Bam, who's earning his contract, are smelling blood. And we're smelling like we're about to be in the finals, and you're going to be in the finals, and you're going to be in the 305 at least 2 or 3 days. And so you can go and pack your bags, get ready. He got out coached. I mean, yeah. Thank you, Grant Williams, by the way. And even Jimmy Butler told you our fourth quarter offense is really, hey, Jimmy, ISO by yourself. Other 4 kind of stand in the corner, and we're going to figure it out as it goes. But what's not said is how great of a defender Jimmy Butler has been as well. Jaylen Brown has kind of, you know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, we're putting different defenders on him. He's not looking like he's earned the contract that he's probably going to get anyway. And their other alpha male ain't scoring in the fourth quarter. So couple that with who else is going to score for them, right? Because you at the end of the game, you're not going to go with, I don't know, Peyton Pritchard, and White and all these other players.
Even though Pritchard played, I'm like, why is he even playing? Where is Brogdon? Where is Marcus Smart? Why are we playing this? I mean,
Brogdon has a hell of a stretch of time too. I can't remember. I think it was game 2. He was going ham, but took him out. Joe Mazzulla, you had to live with the hot hand. But you know what? Do what you want to do. Heat in 6. It might be Heat in 5. I swear to God, if we win tonight, yes, it's a sweep. And you might as well if we win tonight, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, just go back to Boston. Because it's nothing, whether y'all win or lose game 4, don't even matter at this point. But that's why we have to finish the job, though. I don't want us to get too cocky because I feel like other people will get cocky. We started with a 3% chance to win this series. A 3% chance. We got done beating the best team in the East, Milwaukee Bucks, in 5. We beat a Knicks team that nobody really wanted to see because of how forceful they are in 6, and inserted our will. But we had a 3% chance to win this series. And even though we're up 2-0, we still have the worst chance of getting and winning the finals. How? But that's okay. I like the hate. Hate makes heat rise, and we rise into the top. Thank you. And Bam, you're doing fantastic. Fantastic. Damn near dropping triple-double. 2, I'm all for the gentleman's sweep, but I'll tell you what, if we win tonight, you can take the tie off of that one, okay? Because we're going in there raw.
I guess you got to take something else off if you're going in raw. Damn. I don't even know what to say after that. Hey, shout out to y'all fathers out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Mother's Day. It was Mother's Day last weekend. You know what I'm saying? But no, man, Sheedy, and one thing I've been thinking about all week is the fact that you called that y'all will be here. And so I wanted to ask you, once the Heat, and we all knew that the Heat were a quote unquote playoff team because they performed better. But could we have said they were going to beat the Bucks? Sheeta, you did. Could we have said they were going to get past whoever they got past in the second round, which was the Knicks? You did. Asking you, do you believe that the Heat have been the best team in the Eastern Conference going back into the season, or even I guess coming into the playoffs? Y'all have performed like the best team in the East.
No. Coming into the Eastern Conference playoffs or the playoffs itself, no, I did not believe we were the best team. However, I thought we provided with how we were going to match up the best scenario for us to go back to where we left off at last year. And I think with the playing scenario, and I'll give it back to you, I'm sorry, but I think with the playing scenario and the way it is, it allows, it's realistically, it's more, the playing scenario is really set up more for the 7th and 8th seed to dictate where to go. Because it really gives an unfair advantage to the number 1 and number 2 seed, if we're being frank about it.
That's an interesting point.
And so the 7, we decided, nah, we didn't want to see Boston yet, right? We going to see Boston, but we didn't want to see them yet. We'll go ahead and let, who was that? The Hawks, go ahead. Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, y'all go ahead. Y'all go to Boston. Y'all got done in 6. Okay, cool. Cooled off the Celtics for us. We'll take Milwaukee because we knew how to go against Milwaukee. Knicks and Cavs, whoever won that, I felt like we were going to win the series regardless. But again, to my point, I think the playing scenario plays more into effect for those lower seeds than it does the upper seeds. The only seeds that are locked are 3, 4, 5, 3 through 6. Realistically, those are the only people that know who's going to play each other. Everyone else doesn't know. But we have that wherewithal to go against those teams. To me, once I saw how we played game 1 against Atlanta, I just felt like we just weren't doing enough. And I was like, okay, this is not the Heat team that I know of. We'll come back and win the second game. But even in that game, I was like, oh, wait. If we become the 8th seed, we play Milwaukee. Oh, we want that. So I don't think there was how Jason Tatum ain't really playing, right? I feel like we just were like, oh, whatever. Win or lose this game, it don't even matter. We'll sign up for the 8th seed and take it all the way. And that's it.
I like it, man. I like it. So I do have Broomy James out here that is saying a gentleman's sweep. I do expect the Celtics to get at least one. I can't imagine a fall sweep. If you do, you got to break this team up because like you got to do something because what you're not there. Like you playing with Al Horford, and no disrespect to him, earlier in the playoffs a couple weeks ago, he called himself an elite shooter. What kind of production is he doing? And I don't expect him to,
I put money on him to hit 2 threes one game, and he had none, and I was pissed.
It's probably the last game or the one before that one.
I was pissed. I was like, this man didn't even shoot. Like, come on, man. You're an elite shooter.
I'm expecting him to, if you're an elite shooter, show us.
Right.
You show us because Jason Tatum, he probably gonna keep going 1 for 10 in the first quarter. That's more likely to happen than not. He's still gonna end up with 30 because he that guy, but it's gonna take him 20, 25 shots to do it. Meanwhile, you got Jaylen Brown, who actually shot more than Jason Tatum last game, still, with 16 points. So yeah, what's going on there, Boston? You know what I'm saying? For Peyton Pritchard to play a playoff game, that means the coach is panicking because he's trying to get energy from somebody. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Robert Williams because he actually been doing a pretty decent job as far as holding the paint down. But when you got Bam, who's actually not playing like Bam Adebayo, he's playing like Bam Adebayo. get ready to get back to the crib. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I got Broomy James out. You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting y'all to finish this thing hopefully on in Boston. But if y'all go ahead and get them out now, man, I did actually because they're playing like the best team in the league. They, outside of Denver, of course, they playing like the best team in the Eastern Conference. And what I really like is that y'all finding a hot man and y'all feeding him for the first 41 minutes.
Caleb freaking Martin, bro. I bet the over on him. I'm just continuing to do it until he prove me otherwise, man.
I did today, so hopefully that's today.
He's giving me money every single time for at least past 3-4 games. It's like I do. He'll do. I think it was 12.5. Like, okay, I'm gonna go over. Like she's still scoring. All right, 13 points, 14 points. All right, 25 points last game, man.
25 points. They feed a hot man, like I said, for the first 41 minutes. And then y'all got that guy, Jimmy Jordan Butler, who come in and do what needs to be done as far as closing the game out. And I'm like, man, y'all, this is the formula for any playoff team to win. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why the Lakers beat the Grizzlies. You know, we're going to find a hot man, and when it's time to turn up, Bron going to turn up to be Bron. Is the Bears. Like I said, Jimmy Butler is one of the Bears. It's not too many Bears, so let's chill with that. If y'all want to debate that, you got us three out here to help you with that. But Jimmy Butler is that guy. When you get, like I say, we got Bam playing like Bam, it's hard for them to win. But I do expect the Celtics to get at least one. Because if they don't, boy, we're going to have some fun talking about them.
So a couple things come to mind for this series for me. Well, two things. One, Jimmy Butler, if he wins a ring this year, he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't want to hear anybody else. Not no second ballot, not no third ballot. Like, his story alone is one of the greatest stories that you could ever, like, somebody got to do his movie at some point. If he wins a ring here, like, to know his story
in it.
Hey, if Jordan want to be in it, is he not a Jordan athlete? He need to be a Jordan athlete, like, now. Like, something need to happen.
He would his like he even has like own shooting company like how D-Wade does.
Oh, like China. Okay, all right, I respect that then. But yeah, man, like Jimmy Butler, like you, like to hear where he's come from, like to come out of poverty, to go to Marquette, to be lowly drafted. I forget where he got drafted, but it was low. To go in Chicago, do his thing there. They didn't want him anymore. Send him over to Minnesota. They didn't want him anymore. Send him to Philly. Tobias Harris over me. They didn't want him anymore. So to go to Miami and have literally this is like a perfect match. One could make the argument if Jimmy Butler wins this finals, he is the second greatest Miami Heat player ever. Over LeBron, over Bosh, behind Wade.
You can argue. How you feel about that? I would eat with it. How you feel about that?
Go ahead.
Oh no, that's perfect because LeBron doesn't win the championships without D-Wade and Bosh. D-Wade, what I saw D-Wade do
06
in 06 after we was 2.5, really two games and 3/4 down against the Mavericks, sensational. Man was averaging damn near 35 a game. So yes, I respect, and he always want to come back to Miami. There's plenty with Miami. So yes, I'll let Savage keep on. But yes, I believe he is at 2. Now, if he, wins some more championships, then
yeah, but yeah, man, like Jimmy Butler is just, his story has been amazing, and he's like one of those few players that he looks adversity dead in the face, and he goes out there and hoops regardless of what's going on, down 10, down 20, up 10, up 20. He gonna give you 100% every single time. And he never cheats you the game. He never cheats you anytime he plays basketball. So I feel like all that love and adoration that people have for Russell Westbrook needs to move over to Jimmy Butler, because he's actually showing how to lead a team and then also get rebounds and get assists and get steals. He's averaging 4.5 steals a series. He has 6 in game 1, had 3 in game 2. He's in them pockets and then scoring 35 on the other end. How many players are doing that in the NBA right now? So yeah, I got to give a salute to Jimmy. And then on the other end, other side of the court, Boston. So for one, Joe Mazzulla is a young coach. This is his first year in the NBA as a head coach. So I feel like we are being, not us, but like as an NBA media, we are being tough on him, given that, Ime Udoka situation that happened. He's kind of been supplanted into the head coaching role. So he's literally learning on the fly right now in the midst of the Eastern Conference Finals. He's got Jason Tatum, he's got Jaylen Brown to kind of help him, win these games or at least stay competitive. But he got to coach better, man, because putting Pritchard in the game, it's not it. And more than anything, my problem with Boston is that nobody is like challenging Butler like defensively, not like verbally, because that's Grant Williams being crazy, but like defensively, why are we allowing him to go one-on-one to do isolation? Why are we doing that? That's disrespectful to Jimmy Butler, in my opinion. And Jaylen Brown hasn't been that good this series, but if I'm him, if I'm not going to be able to score, if JT's scoring 30, 40 points, I at least got to lock down Jimmy Butler. Like, you're not scoring 30, dog. Like, you're not getting your average. Shout out to Tony Allen. You're not getting your average, bro. Somebody has to take that assignment and then take it personal when they're doing it. It's not going to be Grant Williams, ladies and gentlemen. I love Grant Williams as a player.
He ain't it.
He ain't it, dog. he ain't it. He'll get paid somewhere by somebody. It won't be Boston because we know that him and Boston had some issues with their contract situation. But Grant Williams, nah. So it has to be Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown has made it in this league by being a two-way player. And right now, Jimmy Butler is piecing y'all up two ways on offense and defense. So somebody has to say no more, no mas. If they don't win tonight, it's for sure over. But if you win tonight, you have at least some life in you. Take it one game at a time. But somebody got to stop Jimmy Butler. It's impossible, but somebody got to rise to the challenge and do it, man. And in Boston, if they don't win tonight, then they're in trouble. So do y'all think that Boston wins game 3? Yes or no? And we can end it right here. I'm going to say no. I say no.
I'm going to give you no, and I'm going to give you the reason why.
Okay.
We have to change the format of how we do the finals. It's working in the Heat favor right now, but this every other night.
Oh yeah, that's bad, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't think they ever did it like this before.
That's not good basketball because you should. For instance, if we played in Boston on Sunday, I'm just giving it for example, Boston Sunday,
2 days
Boston
rest.
Tuesday. Then once I travel, yes, for sure, give me the 2 days rest, right? Because then we play, Miami on Friday, then Miami on Sunday. Yeah, to your point, give a little bit of a rest, and that is also what's hurting Joe, right? Because Joe can't make the adjustments that he needs to make. We played the same zone.
Yeah.
The only thing we're doing in the zone, if you guys watch, I mean, we're basketball people. If you watch, we kind of overload their right hand side a little bit more.
Yep.
We want them to come right and then make those crazy passes to the left that nobody's going to catch, or if they catch it, they shoot a terrible shot. But anyways, I'm riding till the wheels fall off. Heat.
Okay. It's 2 Heat.
I'm gonna go Celtics because if they don't, they're not going back to Boston. They not. So
they going back to Boston, it just be a one way.
So Took, in your opinion, in order for Boston to win, what has to happen for them?
In order for Boston to win, Jason Tatum again got to start off strong. He got to say, I'm the best player on the court. You know what I'm saying? I know Jaylen Brown is kind of going up and down, but this is Jason Tatum's team regardless. He's going to have to lead the way. He's going to have to take over just like Jamal Murray took over last night for them to win. Of course, you're going to need help from your elite shooter that is Al Horford, like at least get you one, get you two. You know what I'm saying? And exactly what you just said, Jaylen Brown going to have to do something defensively on Jimmy Butler. Even if it's guard him the whole 94 feet, he's going to have to do something because he's the only person that's going to be able to, especially if Jason Tatum's able to go off.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Marcus Smart as well. He's been selling lately. I need you like him. I need you like that. If Marcus Smart get 3 or more threes, the Celtics going to win.
Yep.
Simple as that. Do I see it happening? Nah.
I had money on him for 2 threes. He didn't hit. I think he hit 1. That's it. So yeah.
I think Boston, you got to play with a sense of urgency too. Like you got to get out on them. You got to get out on them strong. The Heat don't allow you to do it, no, but you got to find a way to be winning by 10 at least in the first quarter.
That's a good point too, because like Boston just does not, at least from what I see, they might have the killer mentality occasionally on offense, but not on defense, man. Like Mark Smart is a former DPOY. How is he getting cooked by Jimmy Butler? I mean, I understand why, but like for you to have that stamped on your resume and you still getting cooked, that to me is problematic, man.
I can answer that, and that's because all you basketball nerds out here putting emphasis on a 3-point shot. We made easy money by bending under Jimmy Butler 3.
Yeah,
he ain't got to shoot. So whenever Marcus Smart is on him, he in a post.
Shooting over him every time. Rise up. Every time. Rise up.
And it's crazy because to the point that you're making, though, Tuga, as well, these points are coming from the 3-point line. He's scoring 30-plus points from inside the arc and free throws. That's where he's making his 30-plus points. And he's going to the right.
Every time with ease.
Like y'all letting it go to the right. That's
I got old ass Horford on the like. Come on, man.
Jimmy has for this series, he's averaging 31 points a game. Only has 2 threes. That's a professional bucket getter, ladies and gentlemen. Like he getting buckets in the most disrespectful ways. Like you guard me, oh okay. I'm pushing the post, turn around, rise up, bucket. So we 2-1. We said Miami. Me and she said Miami gonna win. 2 said Boston gonna win. I hope for the sake of competitiveness, I want Boston to win. I want it to be an actual series, but the basketball mind of me thinks that Jimmy Butler and bam, see blood in the water, and it's about to be a wrap. It's about to be a wrap. Speaking of a wrap, ladies and gentlemen, Nuggets versus Lakers. So on this podcast, we talked about the Lakers train. Yeah, go on bring them back out too. Go on bring Broomy James on back out. We talked about the Lakers train and how they did improve as a team, which they did. They beat the Grizzlies, the 2 seed. They beat the Warriors, a perennial finals contender, and they have literally met their match in the Denver Nuggets, the 1 seed. I've long said that all you got to do to beat the Lakers is make your shots and rebound, and that is what Denver is doing or has been doing. It ain't even about the Joker. The Joker, we know that he's great, but Jamal freaking Murray, ladies and gentlemen. Jamal Murray, he had 30 points in the first half last night. I had Jamal Murray under 30. He had 30 in the first half. And he had 30 for a long time in the second half, too, until like I think the late third quarter or fourth quarter, whatever it was. So he ended up having 37 points, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, man, Jamal Murray is on a mission. The Lakers, it's over. I mean, I knew at some point it was going to be over because LeBron's legs are gone. He can't shoot. He can't really jump. I mean, he can, but it's like he can't sustain that for a long amount of time, especially in Denver where the air is thin and you're putting in way more effort to make something happen. Nikola Jokic is doing his thing. AD, I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Anthony Davis right now. He's shriveling up. I expected him to play better in game 2. He did not. And so now going into game 3, I expect them to win that game, and they did not. So will the Lakers win game 4? I hope so. I hope so. Probably, maybe. But for them to be getting dominated in an effortless way is kind of surprising for me as somebody who's watched them throughout the postseason. The Denver Nuggets are basically trying to pull AD out of the paint on defense. Regardless, AD is still camped in the paint, ladies and gentlemen. He be in the paint like a safety, just sitting there waiting for somebody to pass the ball. They don't call 3 seconds in the playoffs for whatever reason. I don't know. But the main person that I have a beef with is D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell has been god awful. He has been god awful. Like, he is being played off the court, and he's upset about playing time. Like, dude, you like minus 70 for the series, dude. You're averaging like 10 points a game, if that. If I recall correctly, Schroeder trying his best at least. He's at least trying to guard somebody. He's just getting cooked by Jamal Murray. But yeah, man, thoughts on y'all's Lakers, since y'all are the Lakers conductors of this train.
It's 7 points a game, to be exact.
7. I gave him 10. 7.
You gave him a couple. I'm sorry. I told y'all last week that the joke's on me and the world's still laughing. It is what it is. I got the broom out for a reason, because I hope the Lakers get at least one. Kevin Durant, my king, he gave us 2. He gave the world 2. He tried to show how to beat this monster that is Nikola Jokic, who had a bad game last game. And that's,
let me see, what do you have?
8-6. That's a bad game.
8-6.
I definitely should have bet the on the rebounder, and that's what we call a bad game from Nikola Jokic, man. I told y'all last week the joke was on me. I apologize.
Thank you.
The Nuggets team that we're watching right now is the Nuggets team that I projected for next season, because I didn't project, like I said, Jamal Murray to come back and be doing what he's doing. For him to literally come over and take over this team and beat them in like the Lakers just like that. Like he just did what he wanted with them yesterday. And I'm willing to bet it's going to continue. I don't expect it to stop at all. Like, 30 points in the first half. That means you got no perimeter defense. D'Angelo Russell, what you doing? You can't hit a shot. Went 1 for 8 last game. Like, what are you doing, bro? So I think,
hey, LeBron texting Kyrie right now. Hey, Kyrie, get rid of me.
Go ahead and piss him off, man. Because I saw reports that said that Darvin Ham wanted to sit, not wanted to bench D'Angelo Russell.
He should have. Why didn't he?
If it's what Joe Budden called cock sources, which the BS sources. If it's BS sources, cool. But if not, if those were true, then I think you need to go ahead and pull that Band-Aid off right now and bench him. Ruchi Horimour needs to be starting. He needs to be starting. And Austin Reeves needs to be starting. However y'all can try to contain Jamal Murray or Nikola Jokic, y'all figure that shit out. because y'all are getting embarrassed. The Laker train is getting embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about who they've beaten over this playoffs year. The Warriors were the defending champs last year. And Lakers beat them with ease. Now you get here and like you said, she freeze up. Nah, man. And y'all at home. What I saw last night was an embarrassment. LeBron finally able to hit his threes. But so is Jamal Murray, like I said, hitting everything he wanted to take, bro. Like Bruce Brown doing what he want to do. Right now,
his money is like going all the way up. All the way. He better get paid.
Jeff Green, Bruce Brown, and Chris Brown, which is crazy.
Right.
Chris Brown and Bruce Brown were the only bench players to play last game. To the Lakers, hell, everybody. Speaking of which, watch everybody. If you sign Tristan Thompson, let him get at least. He played last game for a minute, maybe 30 seconds, so he probably equated it up. He needs to get more PT. You got to do something to maintain what Jokic was doing yesterday. If you can maintain what, like I said, that was a bad game from Jokic. I'll take him not getting 6 rebounds because if he get more than 6 rebounds, he's getting more than that 8 assists he got.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. So try to get that bad game from him 9 from 19. If you can have another one of those and Jamal Murray don't score 30 points again in the first half, Lakers may have a chance. Let me not say we, because my dad out there thinking I'm a Lakers fan. I can't have that going on. But no. Lakers, we gotta win one. Gotta win. Other than that, Broomy James is here to stay with Bronny James. And at least I ain't have to pull this out for my boy Kevin Durant. And shout out to Devin Booker. Shout out to Brady.
Yeah, I'm glad you said shout out to Devin Booker, who shot 80% and then 76% or something like that the next game. Speaking of percentages, Jamal Murray is shooting 50, 40, 90 during this series. Something that Steph Curry cannot do.
Right.
Desmond Bain couldn't do it. But now all of a sudden, we are seeing, and don't get me wrong, Steve Kerr is a great coach. But again, as I said last time when we talked about this, Steve Kerr got in his own head after game 1. And I think that really is what hurt the Warriors. But anyways, not talking about people that don't play in the playoffs right now. We're talking about the Lakers and the Nuggets. Mike Malone needs more than his kudos at this point. He told y'all, like, hey, listen, we're at 1-0. Y'all keep saying they're down 0-1. We're at 1-0. We're going to be up 2-0. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. And you know what I did? I rolled up. And I was like, you damn right. It is 2-0. You're damn right. You're damn right. Did I see 3-0 happening? Not really. But let me tell you, the most pivotal point to me that's told me that this series was over, and I think we all can kind of agree to this, is during game 2. At game 2, the Lakers were actually up, I believe, in the third quarter. Up double digits, as a matter of fact. And then it just collapsed. And that blue arrow came out. A top 5 point guard, Jamal Murray. I don't care what guard he wants to be. He's a top 5 guard or whatever position you put him at to be going off like this.
Is he really, or are we just prisoners on a moment?
At this point,
I'm that kind of guy. I'm that guy right now.
At this point, so two
top 5 point guard.
So two, when we do
go ahead.
When we do our top 10 point guards in August, whenever we do our show in the offseason or before the season starts next season, he gonna be somewhere. Because like I'm looking at like, is he better than Ja right now? Is he better than Ja right now?
40-90 in the playoffs.
Is he better than Fox right now? Look, it ain't Joker. Like, I mean, Joker did his part, obviously, but Jamal Murray, he set the damn tone in game 3. He was the one that was like, I got this, y'all. Y'all get on my shoulders. I got us.
And really game 2.
Game 2, yeah. Game 2
at the end of game 2, yes.
And it's like, that's what top 5 point guards do. And if they go on to win the championship, it'll be due in part for Joker. Yes, of course, MVP in my opinion, but also Jamal Murray is carrying the load too. So I feel like we have to at least have that conversation for sure. Now we gotta look and see where everybody is, Luka and all that type of stuff. But right now, what we're seeing, I see Jamal Murray and I see Jimmy Butler on the other side, as far as like forward guards, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and don't get me wrong, he's not playing the best defense, right? And nor does Luka, nor does Steph, right? But he's hitting shots with hands and faces multiple times. He is scoring 30 in one half. He is there when Joker is not. He is legitimately a great Robin to the Batman that is Joker. When Joker cannot, it's not even that Jamal Murray can, it's that he will and is carrying them by himself. There was a time in game 3, I'm like, is Joker even playing? I'm seeing Aaron Gordon. I'm seeing Jeff Green. I thought they was about to sub in Carmelo. I didn't know who was playing the forward. But I know Jamal Murray was out there doing what he had to do time and time again. And yes, I will cement him right now as a top 5 point guard at his position, because at this point, we're talking about the best of the best, right? In the West. And if it's the best of the best in the West, he's proven it even against the Suns. He was doing well. The Timberwolves, who cares, right? But he beat them too. But he's literally proven himself. And to me, there's not enough talk, and this goes off my point, not enough talk about Mike Malone. I watched him. I don't know how old that man was, getting up and down, showing y'all, hey, go blitz him, double here, go here. He was directing that team defensively. A team that's not really known for their defense, but directing them when it was necessary to do so. And so to me, man, if the Nuggets don't win this in 5, there's a problem. They should really be done with them in 5. The Lakers, it's been great. It's been fantastic. Thank God we don't have to keep hearing about, oh, well, now the Lakers are down 0-2 or now the Lakers are down 0-3. Like, give the credit to where it's due, and I really hate that. But the other part of this, what I just talked about for the Celtics and Heat, well, you said Lakers. What I just talked about the Celtics and Heat is the issue that LeBron and the Lakers are having. And I'll just be my last little part about the Lakers before we talk about their offseason woes next podcast. You can't just get one day off and expect to come back and do well. You have an aging LeBron. I don't care. He's in 20th year. And what is that, like 16 of those years in the playoffs, right? And how many finals he's been in? Anthony Davis, who you don't know if he's hitting the head, how his legs going to be, But I will say this. Lakers, y'all got Austin Reeves. That's something to hold on to. If I can give you any pie in the sky, so to speak, it's him. Not like it's him, but he's doing really well. But again, back to the team that's better, because it's a team sport. The Nuggets are the class of the West, and there will be finals in the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado. You can go ahead and book that. Didn't they just have the All-Star game? No, it was in Salt Lake.
No, Utah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean all those white states. But yeah, anyways. Yeah.
Talking about the mountain.
But yeah, man, shout out to the Nuggets, man. But again, shout out to Mike Malone, man. He's really, the way he's leading and directing his team is something very special. Whereas Darvin, oh well, we're only down 3-0. There's not down, we're not 0-4. It's over with, bro. It's over with. There's nothing more to y'all.
No, he said that.
He said, "Oh, y'all acting like we down 0-4. We're only down 0-3. How many other teams you seen in your life come back from 0-3?
Not in basketball, 0. Baseball, yeah, but this ain't baseball, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Red Sox.
I was trying to figure out where did Michael Malone cut his teeth at as a coach, and I'm looking at his history. I'm like, he was coaching under Van Gundy. He coached with the Cavaliers when LeBron was there. He coached in New Orleans Hornets. He coached in Golden State for a second. Now I remember him being the coach of the Kings when Boogie was there, when Boogie was balling out. And then when they fired Michael Malone, Boogie was pissed about it.
When was he with the Hornets?
Hornets was 2010, 2011.
So Chris Paul he went there. Okay.
Chris Paul was with, I think, Clippers at that point.
Yeah,
he was with the Lobster probably.
But I'm trying to figure out where did this man come from, because I just love what I see from Mike Malone. There's actual coaching going on. Your team ain't good on defense. I'm gonna still tell you where to go, where to position yourselves. Even in the timeouts, during those commercial breaks, they will show him animated in the actual huddle, and the team is focused on him. I want to see actual coaching. You ain't playing well, gotta get out the game. We only need 8 players. I'm just playing 8. Christian Brown, Bruce Brown, and I forget what's on the bench as well too. We're not going to 9, 10, 11, 12 players. We're gonna keep what we got, and y'all gotta be ready to play 40 minutes. I'm sorry, we got a game to win. It's conference finals. You can rest in the offseason after we win the NBA championship. That's what I love to see.
Cough, cough, Taylor Jenkins. Cough, cough.
That's what I love to see.
Speaking of which, Savage, can you name that list off real quick again?
Mike Malone's coaching stops. He started off like in colleges, but his NBA stops. NBA, New York Knicks from 2001, 2005. Cavaliers from 05 to 2010. Hornets from 2010, 2011. Warriors from 11 to 13. Kings head coach from 13 to 14, and now with the Nuggets.
So no Greg Popovich or Coach
Nope. Nope. I don't know where he came from, man. He just came out of nowhere and said, "You know what? I'll be a good coach."
That's interesting because like with that kind of resume, he should definitely deserve it. But it's like with the NBA being such a business, most of the coaches that I see get hired are based on relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you are under the greatest coach ever, which is Pop, I've been saying that, you're able to manifest other different, opportunities with different teams. But we also see every coach from the Popovich tree not doing so well. Like, name a successful Popovich coach, I guess. You can say Coach Bud, but he just got fired.
Yeah, the ones gonna hire like
Coach
Bud,
Jenkins, we want him out
Jenkins,
of town.
Snyder just got hired again. He got fired by Utah years ago.
He can't keep a job. He been hired 3 teams in the last 3 years.
Yeah. Everybody else, Becky Hammonds with WNBA.
I think Kenny Atkinson.
Kenny Atkinson was yeah.
And he's like him coaching
Golden State, I think.
Yeah. And he I think he's gonna get a new job though, which well deserved. But it's like these coaches are still failing. So for him to come out, have his own scheme, stick to his own guns, salute to him. I was just curious.
Shout out Jalen. Jalen is actually a Denver fan. That hard.
Jalen, this moment for you, man.
Yeah. So Jalen, get ready for
we will.
Finals.
We'll bring it. I'll bring the shorts.
Talk about 2 different temperatures. You got Denver and you got Miami.
And what's crazy, I heard they just had a tornado in Denver.
Really?
So it's like, y'all trying to have this every other day? Okay.
So man, it look like the Lakers are over with. I may or may not be prepared to do a eulogy for the Lakers next episode. So y'all be ready for that. We have a couple of comments. Let's see. James says paper times like this. And then Candy said, Pop keeping all his secrets to himself as he should, right? Pop ain't going nowhere. Speaking of Pop, we'll get into Pop in the next segment right after we hear from our sponsor, BetStamp. This episode of 3 to Hardaway is brought to you by the BetStamp app. BetStamp is helping thousands of people win at sports betting for free. The same way travelers use Google Flights or Expedia to find the best prices, sports bettors can now use BetStamp to do the same. When you place a bet, the odds given by a sportsbook will determine how much you can possibly win. Even when betting on the same outcome, different sportsbooks will offer varying payouts, and these differences can be huge. Thankfully, BetStamp allows you to easily line shop for the most profitable odds across all sportsbooks. You can click on any matchup and instantly see all the different odds for games lines, player props, and even future bets. Line shopping is the simplest way to find an edge in sports betting and maximize your chances of winning long term. On average, BetStamp users win an extra $1,000 yearly just by line shopping. You can find the BetStamp app on the Apple Store, Google Play Store, or through your browser at www.betstamp.app. To access all these benefits, sign up using promo code LBR. That's LBR, and start your journey to sports betting today. If you forget to use the code upon sign up, you can always enter our code in your BetStamp account settings afterwards. BetStamp. Bet like a pro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we know the results of the NBA draft lottery. The lottery was last Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, and the Spurs. I thought about you, man, because you've been saying this for a year. I feel like that the Spurs are going to win the lottery.
Yeah, I like it.
And I always go back to conspiracy too, because I feel like it's a conspiracy, man. How you get 3 generational big men at that number 1 pick? You got David Robinson, one of the greatest big men of all time, scored like 72 points in the game. You get Tim Duncan, arguably the greatest power forward in the game. 4 or 5-time NBA championship, however many he won. And then you get a freaking unicorn in Victor Wembanyama, man. Hopefully I say his name right. I always mess it up some kind of way. But the Spurs did win the NBA draft lottery. I'll go through the actual order of the lottery. It's San Antonio 1, Charlotte is at 2, Portland at 3, Houston at 4, Detroit at 5, Orlando at 6, Indiana at 7, Washington at 8, Utah at 9, Dallas at 10, Orlando at 11, OKC at 12, Toronto at 13, and New Orleans at 14. And obviously, a lot of these teams were in it for Victor because, I mean, Victor's a 7'4" guard, to be honest, that can shoot, that can dribble, that can defend, all these things. And so now what we're seeing is a lot of teams are like, you know what, we ain't get Victor, trade. Houston talking about trading, Portland talking about trade. Everybody people don't want Scoop, people don't want Brandon Miller, people don't want the Thompson twins. Everybody like, nah, we ain't win. I'm out. So before we get into that though, what are y'all thoughts on the Spurs getting? I say getting because they're gonna get Victor Wembanyama, but what do y'all think about the Spurs getting number 1 pick?
Ah, man, it's so fun being right. Like, I'm just breathing the good fresh air, but I hate losing more. So, if that means anything. But Savage, go ahead and bring up that conspiracy too. Backdrop back up, because what I feel is that the reason I was able to call that, and even the James Wiseman situation when he went to the Warriors, I called that a year ahead too. And it's literally me just following the money, right? Like, 2 top reasons why I did have Wemby going to the Spurs. One is because of that French connection. When you got a kid growing up in France like Wemby, one of his greatest influences is the greatest French player to ever play, come from French, which is Tony Parker. Debate me if you want, but that's his title. And he was able to win, so he was advertised as such. So a lot of players would, want to be like him. And you are able to still see the influence in Pop, which is number 2. The influence of Coach Pop, why I call him the greatest coach of all time, is because the way he plays the basketball, which is the right way, but he's going to make sure that the star player is the star player. We call David Robinson top 10. We call Tim Duncan arguably I call him the greatest power forward ever, and that's because he was able to win. We call Kawhi Leonard, who, if he plays, Kawhi Leonard is arguably the best player in basketball, both ways like that. So I told y'all, with the way that the league is looking, it's that the NBA is trying to find their next go-to guy, their next LeBron James as far as the media go. Because LeBron's about to be out of here 2-3 years. Now the NBA, if I ask y'all again, who's the next star, could we be able to answer that successfully? And it's a good situation to be in, but at the same time, if you're able to take, quote unquote, what everybody's calling the greatest prospect and turn him into the greatest player in this NBA, then you able to live off that for the next 10 to 15 years. Even if he don't stay with Coach Popovich, Coach Pop gonna get him to a point where he's able to leave and make any team that he's on successful. That's why I've been saying Coach Pop is gonna get his hands on Wemby. So Lord I hope he draft him. Got to, right?
No question.
Don't trade the pick. The NBA needs Greg Popovich to get his hands on Wemby, but Wemby needs to be with Popovich, because it's going to be a situation where now a clash of 2 things. But if it's successful, we've seen how Jokic and Mike Malone are able to combine their games, and they about to be in the NBA Finals.
Wait, who about to be in the NBA Finals? The Spurs?
The Nuggets.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, wait a minute.
Jokic, what, 5-6 years? 5-6 years, we've been looking at Wemby in the finals. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got you. Yeah, no, I'm just making sure. I mean, if there was an AK-47, I just didn't want you to jump that.
Oh, no. I want to go jump on the landmine. No, I'm going to just move out the way.
Okay, my God.
Don't tell me to jump off the I'm going to watch you.
What I will say is, besides, I won't cause too much disrespect on the show. But what I will say is, the state of Texas really has got some sensational draft picks that have been universal changes. Whether you're talking about Dallas getting Luka, right, for a trade swap, and Luka is like a different type of player. We got Victor with the Spurs. And I think a lot of people forget, in 2002, there was a sensational giant that came from China, and Yao Ming, and dominated the league. No rings. Didn't get the talent he needed. It hurt and stuff.
Got cut short, but he was still all-star. He was an all-star player.
Yes, and generational talent, man. And shout out to Shout out to Pop. The picks have like his last couple, like people talk about how great the Spurs picks have been like recently. They haven't really come to the cream of the crop yet, besides Keldon Johnson. And that was what, 2018, 19, something like that. I believe. Jeremy may show up, who knows? But I don't want to say that they were due. I just think that basketball gods know good people. And if Greg Popovich is still coaching, then he deserves a great player. He didn't have any other talented trade to get talent to come there. The last best talent he probably got was LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan. And so now you got Victor. And to me, I look at that roster. I mean, not this year, right? Not this year. But the following year of free agency, Pop going to be around for at least 2 to 3 more seasons. And I want to smell you with that finals pick. And I'm telling you, in 2 years for sure, this should be not a play-in team, but a playoff team in the top 6, because someone is going to want to come and play underneath Pop and have Victor. That's going to happen. And Keldon Johnson's already locked in. He's not going nowhere.
Devin Vassell is nice. Jeremy Sohan is nice. They got players, man.
They got players. They got a team, right? Yep. They're going to need that one other player to take them over the top as well. I don't think it's Victor yet. I'm going to put yet on there. But I look forward to what happens. You know what I also look forward to? I look forward to Victor banging in the paint, though. He's going to have some tough nights. And Chet with his sports brawl coming back, we'll see.
I was like, him and Chet gonna be a good matchup, man. Two speed dudes.
I'm locked in for that game.
Even Victor and Jaren, I'm curious to see that matchup because I want Jaren guarding Victor. I'm curious to see that.
Just
you can't put Steve Adams on.
Right. It's gonna be like 2K. Like 2K, bro.
What am I watching?
Look, bro. The new height requirement of NBA players is gonna be like 6'7". Like if you ain't 6'7", you ain't making it. I wouldn't make it. I'm 6'3", 6'4". I wouldn't have made it. I'm short as hell compared to they got tall point guards now. Like Amen Thompson, speaking of the draft, Amen Thompson is 6'7". Asur Thompson, 6'6", 6'7". Like,
those are amazing names, by the way.
Yeah, I know, right? But Jalen said Junior and Wemby. What up, Aiden? Yeah, we saw Junior give Wemby that work, but Wemby in an NBA offense is a little bit different.
Wemby gonna remember that.
Right.
Wemby one coached by Pop then.
Right.
Yeah, I'll talk about laughing if you want.
It's a little bit different.
On his head. I remember you.
I feel like what the Spurs need more than anything else. If they can just find a point guard, anybody want to run point with a young team, then they gonna be in heaven.
Mess with the young Jones.
I do, but
he ain't the guy to take them over. Like, you know what I mean? He's a good backup.
I like Trey like his brother, a backup.
Yeah,
but I'm like, if you give me like an all-star or like a fringe all-star point guard, I would be interested. I'll be interested in that. Darren from Fat Boy Fadeaway says Hornets take Scoot, right? I like Scoot with Melo. But I feel like they should take him regardless of how they feel, because we saw what benefited Sacramento. They had Fox, they draft Halliburton, you trade Halliburton, and then you leverage and get Sabonis. So I feel like take the best player, figure out the rest later. You can trade Melo. Melo got trade value. Melo can get traded to the West Conference. You can get something for him. If you don't like Melo, you prefer to have Scoot Henderson, you can do that. But if the Hornets decide to take Brandon Miller, I will be okay with that as well too. But I know that Scoot Henderson is a better prospect, and the league probably sees him better. He can't really shoot that well. He can shoot a little bit, but not that well. But
why is there even a discussion? I don't understand. I don't understand. I agree that Scoot needs to be set. Scoot's been playing against developmental talent. Mm-hmm. Where Alabama playing who? I mean, come on now. And then he get clamped in the tournament.
He did get clamped. He kind of tapered off. He was hurt, but he tapered off in the tournament. He did taper off.
School, we been a fan of you for a couple years, or I guess a year now. Hey, if he not taking number 2, is because Jordan's still Jordan. He's supposed to be selling the team, so that means
he's about to take somebody from Australia. Watch, you're gonna take somebody from Australia.
Get Michael Jordan off. He's one of the worst general managers, owners, whatever you want to, decision makers for a team ever.
Worst, not one of the
You say the worst. Okay, we can say the worst. But on the court, all right, you the GOAT. Off the court, nah, get him away from a basketball court and an organization. So
Jalen asked trade Tyus to San Antonio. I've discussed that prior to Wemby because I feel like Tyus Jones and Trey together is a good understanding of like you the lead guard, I'm the backup guard. I don't know if they will want Tyus because Tyus is kind of he's inconsistent when it matters most. I think that they need at least a point guard towards the tail end of their career. Not like Chris Paul. Chris Paul would be like a decent Chris Paul from like 3 years ago would have been ideal for this team.
Like that OKC.
They need to be back in the lottery.
Like that OKC Chris Paul would have been perfect for this situation.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. Off the top of my head, I can't think of a point guard that's out there right now.
What if the following year they get a top 5 pick?
San Antonio?
Mm-hmm.
I would trade it and get a point guard. Get somebody who
instead of developing one with Wemby.
Nah, I get somebody that's ready made right now. I would get somebody ready made right now. I have to look at that team to see who is selling, but I'll bring in a lead guard that can like know that Wemby is the guy, but also be like I can run the show when I need to. Let me see. Candy says they will get Tyus played, but yeah. I can see that, but I'm just like I personally wouldn't do it. I wouldn't mind it, but I personally wouldn't do it. He's still trying to sell. Yeah, he is still selling. Speaking of selling, so if you are Portland, and we talked about Dame Lillard, I feel like months ago we talked about. I mentioned Philadelphia as a landing spot. Dame been doing a lot of this, a lot of talking lately. If y'all want to trade me, then y'all get the petition going. I think it's happening. He gonna get traded. I don't know if I would trade that pick though. I personally would keep that pick, but I would trade Dame and get more assets. I'm looking at Philly like, hey, I need Maxey. I need who else? I don't know what they got. They really ain't got that much. Hell. But what do y'all think that Portland should do with just the entire situation of Dame, the pick, whatever?
You go, G. Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah, so I was actually looking at point guards first, and I'm trying to think of a point guard to go there. But anyways, let's.
Conley would be nice in San Antonio. I like that.
Who?
Mike Conley would be nice in San Antonio.
Yeah.
You say you wanted an A+ point guard. No disrespect to Mike Conley, but it's all about.
I was like,
Mike Conley gonna be 15, 16 years in the league.
Yeah, I would need someone like
I
a
love
little
Mike
bit
Conley.
younger.
Yeah.
Like even like let's say I don't know what the Raptors are doing, but if Fred VanVleet,
I'm not mad at that.
Goes there. It's not like you got 5'7", you got 7'5", so you'll be all right balancing the height there. But Damian Lillard. So what they're going to trade? That's the problem. You're going to trade the third pick and who else? Package deal to get who? A small forward or a power forward? Then Jeremy Grant not provide what y'all needed? I mean, the man was averaging 25-5 almost the whole season. But then you sat out the last 10, 12 games and still got an all-NBA team. Well, whatever that happened. But I mean, I don't excuse me. Dame has to leave Portland. This is the same situation. I brought this up before. The same situation that KG went through with the Timberwolves. It's over. Those two teams, KG and the Timberwolves, cannot get it together to get out of the Western Conference Finals, to get into the finals, to compete. This the same situation now. They're going to try to trade that third pick and some other stuff. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. But the other part is, because Portland done paid him all this money, who's going to take on that contract? At some point, this man is due $60 million. $60 million in the new CBA. $60 million.
That's why I feel like Philly got to do it, man. Because Philly just offload everybody and just keep Embiid and Dame and
get rid of Tobias Harris.
Yes,
Tobias Harris, $40 million. Yeah, because James Harden ain't coming back. He's not going. Especially if the 76ers are stupid enough to go ahead and hire Mike D'Antoni again, and James Harden and Mike D'Antoni again in Philly, nah, that ain't gonna work. So he's gonna be gone. He's gonna want 4 years. I know some rumors about $200 million, so $50 million right there. But Tobias Harris making $40 million still. That's why I lost my hair. But the 76ers have to get rid of Dame. To be honest, I know they want to keep Dame and keep him happy. But also the flip side of that is they paid him so much money. There's so much money locked into him. Where is he really going to get the support from? So at some point, Dame, I hope you're listening. At some point, especially with how everything is set up, I get it. You're a great player. You are a great player. Yes, you're all NBA talent. I hear that. But when the last time you was at the finals? When was the last time, besides you waving bye-bye to Oklahoma City Thunder, did I really care about you in the playoffs? And so I'm paying you $60 million for what? On the flip side of that, and I'm gonna be real quick. On the flip side of that, regular season Jimmy don't care about nothing. Playoff Jimmy give a damn. And he's due to make $50 million, $10 million less at the same around the time that Damian Lillard will make $60 million. You have to budget your contract a little bit better. But he wants almighty money. So what he has done, Damian Lillard, what he says and what he does are contradictory of one another. You can't say you want to build a team here and be commanding that amount of money like that and say what you say. I'm just keep it right there because it doesn't make sense. And Portland ain't getting no more money. And they just got done paying Anthony Simons as well. Come on, man. The money's tied up in the backcourt right now.
Can't say you preaching today, she. Jalen talked about trade pick package with Simons and or Sharp. I'm not trading Sharp, dog. Like I like Sharp. Sharp, he got something that's something you can build around. I would do Simons first because Simons been known to get a little bit injured at times, and he's not really a defender. He's kind of like Zach LaVine for me. He's athletic, he can shoot, but he ain't guard nobody.
What if they sent him in the third pick to the Spurs?
Nah.
Dame? That's saying conference.
No, not Dame. No,
I'm about to say.
No. They had to trade. They're trading the third pick and Simons. They had to get rid of some money somewhere.
Yeah.
If they want to contend.
Here's what y'all want to understand, man, because I've always been on the board of them not trading Dame Lillard. I'm staying on my island. And it's because of
so trade the pick then, right? Trade the pick.
You're gonna trade the pick, and if you ask me, Portland got the most tradable assets than any team in the NBA right now.
They got hella people. They got Simon, Sharp.
You got Simon, Sharp. You got Jeremy Grant, who kind of looking, but he still can give you 18 to 20 points a game. Like that's my dog. And you got other picks. What Dame is saying is, I want to be able to get that $60 million. He's not there yet. He got $48 million next season, and then boom. I think he'd become a free agent. So, but he wants that. You know what I'm saying? We want it for Dame. I want it for Dame. Dame wanted for Dame, $60 million. And if I'm able to bring in somebody else, like a Jaylen Brown, then I don't have to go to Boston because why go to Boston? I don't want to go to Boston. Black players don't want to go to Boston. Let's just keep it real. The only time they get somebody is if they sign them or able to get them successfully traded, and they older players. Blake Griffin, Al Horford, Marcus Smart. So, nah, he's not going to Boston. But I think if Boston were to get their asses whooped by the next couple of games, which we already gave our take on that, Jaylen Brown and Dame Lillard will be perfect for that team. You know what I'm saying? Build around them too. But Dame Lillard, I'm staying on my island. Of course, he's saying sign a petition. But are the Trailblazers willing to go through rebuild right now? Yeah, not really, especially when you got Dame Lillard still in his prime. Let's not forget Dame Lillard put up 30 points a game last season.
Put up 70 at one point last year.
70 at one point. Y'all want to go? Y'all want to get rid of that right now?
Man, I need a King's ransom.
Let's make them think like this part because I really want to know how the Trailblazers community feel. Do y'all really want to?
Donovan Mitchell scored 70 points, and what happened to him?
He did it again for another team,
and got up out them playoffs, didn't he?
He didn't. He didn't have to leave. That was Utah clearing the house.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Do Portland feel like clearing the house right now? And that's what I want to know. Convince me that y'all really want Dame Lillard to be gone.
I guess the question would be
Rudy Gobert and Dame Lillard and Donovan Mitchell, especially after Rudy gave the whole world COVID. Y'all have to separate them anyway. That whole kind of different situation to me.
Okay.
So I guess the question would be, does Portland feel like they can compete? Because with that third pick, if you're talking about competing, you need somebody right now that's going to be able to do it. Does trading that pick for Jaylen Brown make y'all a competitive team? because you trading what third pick. I'm assuming you trading Sharp or you trading and Simons and a whole lot of pieces just to get Jaylen Brown, who's an all NBA player. So you have
command
Dame,
40.
Yeah, you got Dame, you got Bushyhead for Jaylen Brown, and they still have no big man. So it's like, can you compete against the Denver Nuggets? In theory, the Grizzlies, the Suns when they get better, the Clippers, Lakers, Kings. Do you really feel like you are at least top 4 type of team next year with Dame and Jaylen Brown? You might be.
I mean, it was one point when they were.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, it's the beginning of the season, but the Trailblazers were playing good basketball. I don't know what happened, but like, I think it'll get to a point where Dame will get his contract and then trade him. But Dame want that $60 million a season.
Yes,
I've been here too long. I done lost too much for me to just go by.
Yeah.
Unless and it's kind of crazy. I said all this because literally the perfect time would be now to trade Damian Lillard.
It would be. The time is now.
Literally the perfect time. But do I think that they're gonna do it? No.
That might be a mistake, man. Might be a mistake.
Because the problem, he is a player option to get $64 million. He's gonna sign that player.
That's guaranteed. That's guaranteed $60 million out of your bank.
He's gonna have to go somewhere to point that I think is being made. And correct me if I'm wrong. Damian Lillard would have to be traded to a win now team, championship team, that once he gets paid that $63 million in like 3 years, I think it is. When he's owed that, when in 2 years it's actually $58 million, so you might as well call that 60 anyway. That team needs to already have won a championship and may have went to the finals again, and then we got to implode because who turned down $63 million? Nobody on this podcast.
Not me. I ain't turned down $600.
And
I'll take it right now.
It's crazy.
$6.
It's crazy because adding on to that point, Sheeta, I would have said trade them to a team with a bigger market as well, like the Lakers would be perfect. But that new CBA literally is about to mess.
You got 80 and Bron. That's a wrap, man.
So you're not gonna be able to have Dame, LeBron, and
Milwaukee. I guess but they ain't got a coach right now.
So I mean, you're gonna have to build around Dame and Giannis.
Yeah,
trade everything.
But that is doable.
Yeah,
right.
That's
Because
definitely
because Drew ain't coming back. That's $40 million gonna be off the books. Chris Middleton needs to be traded. That's another 40. That's $80 million right there.
Yeah, you make it work.
But it is Portland.
But the problem is like you still the value of Dame Lillard is way more than Mid and Drew Holiday. So like the picks that you would get back are gonna be shitty. Like they're gonna be like low first round pick. I need legit. I need like at least lottery picks. You know what I'm saying? So
protected lottery picks. Yeah. I need them for sure,
man. So they in a pickle right now, man. It's and I feel like because I mentioned like Philly as an option. I feel like both of those teams have to do something. Like if it's with each other or it's with somebody else, they gotta figure something out. And speaking of Philly, we can get right into Philly because that was an interesting segue. That wasn't even playing. They weren't even playing. I promise you.
Hey man, people need to keep listening to us.
The Sixers offseason outlook. They did fire Doc Rivers, which we all knew that was happening at some point. When he got hired, I said, he's gonna be out of there in about 2-3 years. They don't get tired of him. The Sixers lost to Boston Celtics in embarrassing fashion. Joel Embiid didn't show up for the last game. Neither James Harden. James Harden had 1 foot out the door to get back to Houston because that's where he wants to be. He ain't trying to win no championship ring. He's like, wow, I'm finna go back to Houston, go to the strip club with little baby. You know what I'm saying? So we can. I'll be very surprised if Harden is back because I did see that he was the one that wanted Doc Rivers fired or out of there, which is ironic because literally months ago he was like, why wouldn't I want to play for a championship head coach? That's neither here nor there. But let's just say James Harden is gone. I'm just going to assume that he's gone based on all the reports and everything. The Sixers don't really have much left to offer in terms of like money. Money, like you're paying Tobias Harris. Who want to trade for Tobias Harris? Not me. I ain't doing it. Joel Embiid will be 30 next March. So he's towards the end of his prime. He gets hurt every postseason. And I mean, every postseason he gets hurt. You have okay bench. You got Melton on the bench. Tucker's like damn near 40. What's it? Niang, he's trash. All these other players, they don't really matter. They're not moving the needle. Maxey is decent, But if you're gonna make a move to improve your roster, it's almost time to pay Maxey, man. Like Maxey, he shows up when he needs to, but he to me he's a third option. He's not your second option. He damn sure ain't your first option. I feel like because of his size, I don't want to invest too much time and energy and money into a 5'11", 6-foot player to be my dominant force on offense. He ain't Allen Iverson, Philadelphia. It's Tyrese Maxey. So with that being said, I'm curious to see how they go about the coaching search, because you let go of Doc Rivers. The options out there are kind of few and far between. I know Trevor was in the comments. He said Bud to Philly. That to me is the same thing as Doc Rivers. I won my championship because of how well my players play. I had Giannis with a 50-point triple-double. They didn't win because of me. I'm a decent coach. I'm good enough, but they didn't win because of me. They won because of Giannis. They won because of Milton. They won because of Drew Holiday. So the coaching options, I mean, Monty Williams, if I'm him, I ain't going to Philadelphia, dog. Nah, I ain't doing that. I might wait on Boston to clear out Joe Mazzulla or something. I might go to Milwaukee with Giannis or something. I'm not going to the hellfire of Philadelphia. So the way that they can improve, in my opinion, what they need to do, I guess, they need to make a decision on where they are as a franchise. Look in the mirror and say, can we compete with Miami? Can we compete with Boston? Can we compete with Milwaukee? Can we compete with Cleveland? Can we compete with the Knicks? As it stands right now, Joel Embiid won MVP and they got out of there in the second round. To this day, he is the only MVP to have not made a conference final. Think about it. In the history of the game, he is the only MVP that has not made a conference final. Everybody else has made it there except for Joel Embiid. If I'm Philadelphia, I'm like, all right, man, let's just wipe it clean. Ben Simmons gone, James Harden gone. We let Jimmy Butler go to Miami. That's our fault. We made the wrong decision. Joel Embiid is 30. I know that I can get something for Joel Embiid, and I can restart the process, push it down the road. We can start it back over. They got the Eagles. The Eagles are good here. The Phillies are good here. Just don't worry about us holding the process 2.0.
He had to say something about the Eagles, didn't he?
You know I do. You know, because we winning games. We winning games and championship. I say chips, but championship we won, and we were just in Super Bowl last year, so they'll be okay. But Philadelphia Sixers, I say new process. Get Joel up out of there. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying they're gonna do it, but that's what I would do in order to get better for next year. They have no money to get better. Tobias Harris making 40 M's. Who wants Tobias Harris?
Let me ask you this, Savage, because you said that Joel Embiid is the first MVP not to go to the NBA Finals or a conference finals.
Conference finals, yeah.
Has there ever been a time when an NBA MVP has been traded in the same summer he was awarded MVP?
I feel like it has for some reason. I don't know why.
I feel like it has too, but I can't think of it.
I feel like it has. I'm trying to think. I'll look it up.
Okay,
that's a good trivia question, Loki.
So,
but yeah,
and if it is, cool, like definitely. But I don't think it has, man, and I think it's about to happen. And what I mean by that is, shout out to my alien brother Trevor in the comments. As soon as they hired Daryl Morey, that was, I'm gonna use your word, Savage, hellfire. Oh, that's when all hell done broke loose. Hit that reset button, it clean exactly. Which ironically, hey, Portland got a number 3 pick, and they got some pieces that can do good in Philly. Go ahead and ship Embiid out there with Dame. Maybe Dame won't take that $60 million. You know, maybe it'll take a little less because Big Joe out here, because the MVP out here. Now I'm just saying.
I got one to Wilt Chamberlain in 1968. He won MVP in 66, 67, 68. And he got traded in 68 to the Lakers from Philadelphia. Oddly enough. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Well, he gone.
Hey, man, the best happens on this podcast. This is the best basketball podcast in the world, man. Debate your mama. But no, it's time. Like, you got to reset the process. The process didn't work. Y'all tried it. It was unsuccessful. You got to look yourself in the mirror. If hell done broke loose with that,
got another one too, real quick. Got another one.
Who is it? What's up?
Moses Malone won MVP in 1982. He was traded from Houston to Philadelphia. To Philadelphia. That's another one.
What a Philly connection right here. It's a Philly special. No cheesesteak.
It's a Philly special.
So I mean, there's history of it with this organization. Of course, different leadership or whatever, but they have to know that the value is high. That's a 3 to Hardaway commandment. If the value is high, if y'all can't win, get what you can from.
If the value's high, let them fly. There we go.
The value high, let them fly.
Let them fly.
But both of them are Philadelphia connections. That's crazy.
Yeah, who would have known? But get them out of there. You got multiple teams that'll give you what you want for an MVP. Get them out of there. Reset. You got Tyrese Maxey. I think they're gonna pick. They chose Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler, which pissed everybody off as it should. And now Philadelphia, you got to live in. You got to live in Charlotte, New York. Perfect team for them. Perfect team, and you got the money in the markets. That's what I'm saying. This new CBA is going to really mess up the league. Now it's really going to be players are going to have to go to bigger markets in order for them to team up with other players. That's going to have to happen in order for teams to be successful. Other than that, we ain't going to be seeing no 2-3 superstars on the team no more. Go ahead and loop up right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm stuck on stupid right now because I'm sitting here looking at these Philadelphia contracts like, what?
Crazy.
And they haven't even paid Tyrese Maxey yet. They haven't even paid, and he's going to collect at least $20 million. Pool wingers coming up for what? Joel Embiid?
Yes, I'd do that in a heartbeat. I would do that
if I'm Philly, I wouldn't do it for Philly.
I would do that.
Of course, as a Warriors fan,
me as a bandwagon Warriors fan, I would do that in a heartbeat.
That's unfair.
Add some pieces, add some picks to it, whatever you need to do to make that happen. That needs to happen. That needs to happen. Like, come on,
bro. They get Joel Embiid in freaking Silicon Valley. I'm done with the NBA. I'm like, you know what? All right, man.
And I seen that, brief rumors about Jimmy and Joel. This actually really started last season, I believe, coming to Miami, which I wouldn't mind. But I think Bam's been a little bit more of an accession this year. But listen here, if Joel Embiid is on the trade market, I believe right now that he is one of those players that you can trade the house for. And so if that's a Tyler Hero and Bam got to go, goodbye. Bring me Joel with Jimmy and let that work out. But it's all predicated about who is going to be the coach. Once the coach is established, then I believe we'll see more pieces moving around as in regards to what talent stays around. But yeah, to the point about Tobias Harris needs to get shipped off to, I don't know, the Jazz somewhere to where they can just eat his contract and get some players back.
Wandong Tigers.
Yeah, anybody. Taiwan, Indonesia. You feel me? Somewhere. But he can't be making the second most amount of money. Even if James Harden was to sign his player option with Philadelphia, Tobias Harris is still the second highest paid player on the 76ers team. And y'all tell me, what did Tobias Harris do last series? Nothing.
Get paid.
He did. And then let's also, you talked about, is this 76ers team as constructed with James Harden, we'll say that. This team didn't really compete against the Celtics. They got lucky on 2 shots at the end of game 1 and game 4 and caused overtime. And I get, what if. I know we're going to do all that stuff. But listen, this 76ers team is built to make the second round and bounce. That's it. And you can call it coaching. You can call it players. You can call it the Philly special. It ain't happening. Philadelphia is only going to be good for the football, I guess, because they gave them all the Georgia Bulldogs. And that's all we got. And so it's not like we about to get all the talent to Philadelphia for no reason. So, yes, I think Joel Embiid needs to be traded. You don't sign James Harden. If you're going to redo this, redo all of this. All of this. The process that was trusted back in 2014, we are now about to enter the year of 2023, 2024. This will be the 9th, 10th year of this. What's the process gotten us? Nowhere. Not even to the Eastern Conference Finals. What that sound like?
Can I ask you something?
I'm listening.
Because it's interesting that the more I think about Dame and Embiid, is the more I'm thinking is this going to be the next wave for the Western Conference? And what I mean by that, if a team is successful then everybody's gonna copycat. It's a copycat league. Everybody tried to mimic the Warriors. You can't mimic the Warriors. So now what we're seeing is, the best big man in the league, arguably the best player in the league, with Jokic, a center, and Jamal Murray, a point guard. That's what you're gonna have to build around. With that being said, the only thing that could probably compete against them two would be a Dame and an Embiid. How y'all feel about that?
Depends on if it's in Portland or if it's in Philadelphia. That's why I feel like they have to talk. Portland and Philadelphia, either they gonna take on Embiid or they gonna take on Dame Lillard. If Portland does it, then it should get very interesting because they be in the same division. Portland,
that's what I'm talking about.
That should be interesting.
That's what I'm saying.
And if you Portland, I think that's the preference because Dame Lillard wants to be there.
That's what I'm saying.
Daryl
Morey is the general manager.
God damn it, too. This damn conspiracy. Now I'm the other way now.
Was I wrong about Chris Wallace?
You not wrong. You're not wrong.
I've never, as far as I've never been like, come on, man.
Now I'm curious.
And Elton Brand is still you need to clean house. Get everybody out of there.
Speaking of this, I'm a like speaking of the process because the process might have ended. I'm gonna do notable draft picks during the process.
Oh yeah, because I got to give my guy a shout out. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna do noble draft picks. So it started. I'm gonna say it started in 2013 when they drafted Rookie of the Year Michael Carter Williams, who didn't last long in the NBA, surprisingly.
And who would have got it if somebody else was hurt?
Right. Next one. Next year was Joel Embiid in 2014. They got Embiid. They did draft Elfrid Payton. They traded him to Orlando, and then KJ McDaniels, the McDaniels brothers, Jeremy Grant, who's now with Portland. Russ Smith, who had a quick stint, and then he got up out of there. The next year, Jahlil Okafor, who was on the Duke National Championship team, he kind of flamed out. Willie Hernan Gomez, who didn't really have a long year or a long career. Rashawn Holmes, who on the bench for Sacramento right now. The next year, Ben Simmons, who's we ain't got to get into that. Korkmaz, I forgot where Korkmaz is at now. He's somewhere in the league. Yeah, somebody the next year, Markelle Fultz, who is now
starting. Get the hell out of Philadelphia.
Who is thriving in Orlando. Who on the up and up.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Anybody else in this? Nope, nobody else from that year. The next year, they drafted Mikal Bridges, who went to school in Villanova, and then you traded him.
On draft night.
I remember when he got drafted, he was like, yes, I'm in Philadelphia.
I forgot about that.
So he had the hat on. He was happy. Then they traded him to Phoenix. So they could have had Mikal. Imagine Mikal Bridges with Joel Embiid. Just imagine. All right, Landry Shamet, who is with Phoenix again. Let's see, nobody else. One of the Giannis brothers, Kostas Antetokounmpo, who ain't doing that. The next year, nobody of consequence. This is bad draft. And then Maxey in 2020, Theo Maledon, he traded with the Thunder. Isaiah Joe, who again not real that. Paul Reed is there. Paul Reed is decent basketball. Paul, all right. Then the next year, Jaden Springer and Charles Bassey, who again, not too many. Like there are some notable names. A lot of them don't play for Philadelphia, and that's the problem. So it would make sense to if they don't get some people, you can get Shaden Sharp, you can get Anthony Simons, and you get the third pick and all that type of stuff to build.
That's enough, and that's the best package you're gonna get.
Yep, So Philly,
Harden gone. Going back to the strip club Hall of Fame in Houston. We told y'all that. Stop playing with
So yeah, Philly. Hey, figure it out, man. I think something got to give with them. Something has got to give. Something got to give. Real quick, I brought up Ben Simmons. How do y'all feel about Ben Simmons going to San Antonio?
To do what? To sit on the bench?
To play basketball. What you mean? Lock in on defense. Pop can unlock him. You know what I'm saying?
Pop blesses many people, but I don't think he is going to bless Ben Simmons with the ability to want to play basketball anymore. Ben Simmons is getting paid. There's no way to cut his contract. So we need to bring back the amnesty clause.
Man, we do need to bring that back. We do need to bring back the amnesty clause, man.
The way that he is collecting money and sitting on the bench or trolling from his TV, talking about whatever was going on and was showing a video. But for what? No.
I feel like the only coach that could revive him would be Pop. The only coach that could revive Ben Simmons' career is Greg Popovich.
Because think about it, he hasn't had consistent coaching ever. College, NBA. So, I mean, think about it. If Ben is in a role where you got Devin Vassell, you got Wemby, you got Sohan, you got all these players, you got Johnson, you got Malachi Branham, all these players are good, man. And just pass the ball and make y'all shots.
And that's what we said about the Nets.
We did, but we also knew that it was toxic.
Philly.
It's toxic in Brooklyn. It's toxic.
I also want to go to quit Spurs and go there and coach them. But
see. Just something
I like it. It's the only thing that'll keep Ben Simmons in the league.
That's the problem.
But let it be said on this podcast. Greg Popovich.
That's the only way that he can stay in the league. That's the craziest thing.
Yeah, Greg Popovich will turn Ben Simmons up, but that's only if that happens.
I just want y'all to know I'm still on my hiatus. I am still not in support of Ben Simmons. I just want to see him thrive and do well. I have seen that they're saying that he's in good shape right now, which is the offseason. They're always in good shape in the offseason. But I hope he does well, man. I hope he does well.
No, him and Dwight Howard need to talk. You need to recruit him.
Come on!
I need to see him play That's the thing. I need to see him play basketball against competition for at least 10 games. Not LA Fitness, not him jacking up shots at the Brooklyn Nets facility. I need to see him in competitive basketball where he's using his brain. Then we can talk.
We won't. DeAndre Ayton.
He acting like a scarecrow, ain't he?
I don't care, Bear. I don't care.
All right, man. We're going to get up out of here, man. So the NBA Finals actually start next Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's June 1st. So we will be back at some point next week. I'm hoping that the series are done by then. We'll figure out what day we're going to record. But hopefully we'll have a NBA Finals preview before the finals actually comes out. So got some basketball tonight, got some basketball this week. Y'all take it easy, stay safe, be blessed. Peace.